Here we are! Just wait and see who shows up. I gotta go get all of the relevant link information so I can be properly disseminated. And begin distributing. General. So many places to post. So many places, so little time. All right, now we wait. I figured that since I had absolutely nothing better to do today, I would come in and maybe... Oh, it's Nova! Hey, Nova, how you doing? Noah is easily the most reliable viewer. He is my #1 fan, or actually, no, I am his #1 fan because he is everywhere. That's okay, Nova. You can't always be there when I stream. I had a lot of free time today. I already got done most of the small things I needed to get done. I'm not obligated to do anything of value until significantly later. So I am sitting here and enjoying myself. I'm also seeing about bringing in some other people from another channel that I used to have a little more pull in, and some more people in. For those of you who have decided to watch this later, I am playing 3 Stars, the Urquan Masters, otherwise known as the Urquan Masters, otherwise known as Star Control 2. Recently, the creators of Star Control 2 remastered. Well, that's not recently. So the long history of Star Control 2 is pretty impressive. So it started with the original DOS game that then was ported over to, weirdly enough, the 3DO. Which I have that game, and it's the only reason why I own a 3DO, typically a Gold Star 3DO. That was back in the day when different companies were actually making their own versions of consoles. That was a very interesting time. And then the code for the game was released open source, and it became the Urquan Masters. And the Urquan Masters themselves is this massive open source community that basically plays, modifies, and runs the game. As far as I'm aware, Nova, you're everywhere. I've never been to a chat where you're not present, so it's a little creepy. I'm doing really well. My wife is currently off at the one place where wives never go and never return, which is IKEA. So I am actually quite good. My week was good. I'm satisfied, but I'm glad that I didn't have to wake up to an alarm clock. So, but finishing the story, they released it into open source, and there's a lot of great content for open source. I may end up playing this again with the open source version, not the Steam version. By the way, everyone should go and get the Steam version. It is free. Just to show support for Pistol Shrimp, who are making the sequel to Urquan Masters. And then it was announced a couple of years ago that Paul Richey III, whose name is slowly growing up, and Fred Ford, the 2 original creators of the game, wanted to finally make an actual proper sequel to this game. Because, quite frankly, Star Control 3 sucks. And I think everybody knows that Star Control 3 absolutely, positively sucks. Ada compared. So, Star Control 3 was terrible. There was an attempt to make another Star Control game called StarCon, and I believe that was for the PS2. That catastrophically failed, despite the fact that it looked really solid. It actually looked really impressive. I'm really upset that it failed, and I was really annoyed at the time when that game fell through. I need a quasi-space map. So, where was I? Yeah, so the, clear, my brain just fried. It was basically sitting in limbo forever. Devices, quasi-space portal, whee! Until they decided to try and remake it, and they were abruptly and violently sued by one of the most unpleasant and unethical companies on Earth called Stardock, where Stardock managed to purchase the rights to the name of Star Control, but none of the assets, which is really funny because Stardock demonstrated its complete inability to have any brain even back then. I'm not a fan of Stardock. I think that the head of Stardock is one of the most incredibly unpleasant people on Earth. Him and his company have been plagiarizing things for a very long time, and obviously not a fan. But when Fred and Paul decided to actually make the sequel, Stardock sued them and tried to make the argument that, oh no, wait, we own all of your assets, despite the fact that they demonstrably didn't. Now, this is partially, it's a little bit funny actually, but it's partially Fred and Paul's fault because they didn't, their legal writing about Star Control was very poor and very vague, and they got wrapped up in a lot of legal bullshit trying to defend their IP. And then they finally managed to resolve the issue. Star Control Origins came out, which was about as mid a game as you could ever ask for. I've never played it. The reviews are poor. And again, I absolutely hate the company, and I'm not going to give them any of my money. So now, thankfully, with all of that trash behind them, they can actually focus on the making of their game. And that is what they are currently doing. Now, we know very little about Children of Infinity? Yeah, I believe it is Children of Infinity. Yes, we know very little about the story of Children of Infinity. We are all quietly hoping that it is not a modern-day video game disaster, where I'm quietly hoping that they have learned the lessons of every other major video game company and not give in to current thingism and not give in to the puritanical opinions of people who don't understand what this game is about. Star Control has always been pulp sci-fi. It has been pulp sci-fi since Star Control 1. It continues to be pulp sci-fi even to this day. And removing that pulp nature will ruin the game. The artistry and the writing are very important. Yeah, people who abuse copyright are terrible. I do not have pleasant things to say about them. And I do not like Stardock at all. I do not like Accolade at all. They did the same thing. Yeah. Bad companies doing bad things. That's all it is. No, it's one of these worlds. Not this one. Probably on the wrong planet. Or probably the wrong system, now that I think about it. Oh, I need to be an Epsilon Camelopardus. Okay. No problem. Where is that Toyota? Hold on. So, another funny thing about this game, and we were talking in the last stream about weaknesses to this game. And I wanted to... There was one that I actually thought of. And into a fight. Hold on, let me beat the crap out of these enemies, and I'll talk about this brand new weakness. Crap out of... Or Marauders. Ooh, I don't want to be up that. Ooh, I don't want to be up that either. Ow! Ow! Part of the problem is I keep forgetting what my controls are. Yeah, that's right. Their recharge is pretty bad, but mine isn't much better. Need more Shivas. Oh, ooh. You and your freaking fried system. Yes, it is in fact called a FRIED system. Ugh. Wow! Hurt. I don't even know if Urquan Korra have asses. Ow! It hurt. And number 3. Yes. Ow! That really hurts. Planet, why? Why, Planet? Why would you do this to me? Ow! I proceed to get my butt kicked not by the enemy, but by asteroids. And, yep, the asteroids once again. And I would use my defense systems more, but it costs so much power to shoot them. They are just so expensive. They're mostly there to prevent Korra Dreadnought from launching fighters and other things like that. Ugh. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Watching me get my butt kicked by Korra, despite the fact that I have a pretty decent combat ship. But yeah, the weakness that I found was in the game. Most of what you find, or what you're looking for, is all of the space that is outside of these two spheres. There's maybe a few things that are important. Namely, there's obviously the Zok-Bok Picks, which are right here, and then there's the Cyrene Vault, which is down here. But the rest of this area is just an area that you don't go, because it is hell to go to. It is filled with the Urquan and the Korra, the most powerful ships in the game next to the Chimera Avatar. And it's a lot of opportunity that's basically been not realized. Oh, thank goodness. So, it would have been cool if there was a lot of stuff out there to look at and enjoy. Camelot Bear just won. Boring world. Alright, that should be it. Yep, I remember it now. Go get Cyrene. Again, the Cyrene are very much the definition of what makes this game pulp sci-fi. Report from surface. We have opened the subterranean vault which contained the Cyrene Space Patrol Penetrator starships. The Cyrene captains have assumed command of their vessels and instructed us to rendezvous with them back at Betelgeuse. Nova. Nova asks if we meet another sapient species to be aggressive or friendly. There's a lot of philosophy around that. A lot, and there are, of course, if you want a fun time, just listen to xenobiologists or physicists argue about this point all the time. Really, what my opinion has always been, if it is an intelligent species, even if it is one that can be construed as hostile, they have to have the ability to work together in order to accomplish. Hey, Shane. They have to work together to accomplish space flight and space travel and interstellar travel as well. That means they have to have enough of an understanding of they have to have enough of an understanding of the concept of the potential for alien life and the risks that are involved in encountering them. Now, you could potentially have aliens that are crazy, or aliens that are driven mad by their own desires for conquest. And it's possible that they won't be, but I think that, like us, if we encounter a new a new civilization, we are cautious. Because you can find pretty dang alien human civilizations on Earth, and you can either be friendly with them or you can be hostile. But we still have the common trope that we are both, of course, human. Whether or not we are ultimately friendly in the long term isn't the question. If an alien race with interstellar travel wanted to kill us, they would have killed us and we wouldn't have even noticed it. That's the other critical problem. If they wanted us dead, we would be dead. I think that's the best way to put it. If they wanted to exterminate humanity, all they would have to do is get an asteroid.
Good. Now we can proceed with our plan for revenge against the Mycon. From our analysis of the deep child fragments you showed to us, and a review of the recorded Mycon transmissions from the war, we've established the kind of world the Mycons desire for their hideous, deep children. They need a planet like your Earth, or our Syra, one rich in water and oxygen, and possessing a molten, active mantle.
Or they could Google what's this, Jane.
Is to lure the Mycons to such a planet, and then attack them when they least expect it. We know of just such a world. When the Urquan were analyzing their massive planetary data to find a new home for my people, one of the close candidates, ranked just below Gaia, was a blue world orbiting close to the star Organon. Captain, we need your services again. Here is what you must do. You must go to the Mycon and tell them of this world. They will find that the world is suitable. And when they go to Organon, we shall be there, waiting for them. Then, we shall destroy them.
And now, okay, I need to make an important point about what's about to happen next. A lot of people like to attribute sexuality in video games to, like, the Mass Effect era, and there's some of it in prior video games. But this was my introduction to video game sexuality, and it's still the best one that I have ever encountered. Okay? Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so beware. This is naughty.
I'm afraid both our duties will be dangerous, Captain. We may never see each other again. But for now, at least, there's this. That's more like it. Now, let me help you off with this. Yes. Now, aren't you a lot more comfortable? Because, my darling, if the light was on, I couldn't do this. Or this. Or this. Or this. An alien monster? Me? Me?
Why, Captain, why ever do you say that?
Just kidding.
So, think about not only the writing that goes into this, but the fact that they got a voice actress to actually say this.
Oh, say that word again. It makes me feel so excited. It makes me want to do something nice for you. Like this. And this. And especially this.
Again, think about it. An actress willingly did this.
Does that answer your question? Then let me teach you what you need to know. We will begin with the fundamentals of basic Cyrene physiology. Please don't worry, my darling human. We have all the time in the world, and my door locks securely. And stop wasting your lips on words, you silly fool, and come here.
several hours later.
Goodbye, Captain Darling. We each have our jobs to do. Now you must go. But you will remain always in my mind and heart and deep within me. I know that someday, when all this madness has come to an end, we will be together like this again.
So, this is actually one of the areas where there is a difference in... there's actually a difference in the 3DO version and the original PC version. The difference, namely, being, it didn't just say several hours later. It said several hours later, many several hours later, many several hours later, but they couldn't fit it in with the voice acting. So, yeah. A gratuitous alien sex scene. Long before Mass Effect even tried it, and this is one of those areas where I like to make a point. Nova, with the Cyrene, it is, and it is in fact brought up as one of the great prevailing mysteries of the known galaxy. Humanity and the Cyrene are almost close to be a coincidence. So, it's one of the great mysteries of the setting. Why are the Cyrene so similar to humanity? The big mystery. And remember, the Pakunk, if you go back, I think it was 2 streams, the Pakunk said that Captain's going to have 14 children. With a lady like that, I think those are rookie numbers. Yeah, it actually is a really cool idea. I agree. It basically takes the Star Trek argument of all the aliens look human. All the aliens look human, and then twisted it into actually a mystery. So I really enjoyed it. All right. Done that. I have to go and tell them icon. And I think it's a Beta Brahe. Gamma, Delta, Alpha Brahe, Copernicus, Sagittarii. I have to go and steal shit from them icon and make them really mad at me. Beta Brahe. So this brings it up an important point that I had to actually express this point rather vehemently. Cannot remove the sexuality of the Cyrene. It is quintessential to the Cyrene. They are meant to be something of a stereotype of the 70s and 60s sci-fi. Yeah, Shane, that's an amazing campaign. That's what I'm playing now. I'm glad you're here. If you ever need a walkthrough, I have a couple of really good ones. I know this game basically by memory because I've played it more than any other game in my life. But the last thing I want is modern deism to attack the Cyrene. And I've actually made this point. I don't mind if it's actually a male Cyrene, so long as the story writing is good. Because the male Cyrene are not that much different than the female Cyrene in the sense that they are all super attractive, hyper sexy people. It's going to be Fabio if they do it right. This big, overly muscled, handsome guy, but he's also going to be in a situation where not a lot of men are in the Space Patrol. So we can get the story of, well, why is this male in the Space Patrol? I would love that story. That'd be great if they do it right. And I think they can do it right. I hope they do it right. But I do not want modern deism.
This is a special place filled with Jaffa.
Filled
We must not allow it to be soiled by the non. You must go now. This is a...
Oh, right, I can't do this here. I'm sure to, I mean, again, Nova, I don't mind. I don't mind it at all. I would love actually to see a male Cyrene because we know they exist. We've just never encountered them before. That's actually the great social struggle, the actual existence struggle of the Cyrene is, oh, you know you'd want to be filled with Jaffa. They don't have a lot of men left. When their homeworld was destroyed, most of their men were on planet. They had a very small number in space. So I want to meet a male. I want to meet a male Cyrene, and I would be happy if that was the new commander. Uh, 80 years is not enough to recoup such a loss. We're talking about a population very likely in the billions that dropped down to probably a few 100,000, if you think about it. If you're lucky, it's a few 100,000. Maybe 1 million if you're being charitable, and the majority of those lost were men. Yes, the Cyrene are a different. Yes, it was. If you actually play the game, Jonathan, they actually make a point that the women are primarily their military forces. So it's not really. It's a. I would not attribute anything that the Cyrene do to anything that humans do. Actually, that's the default name, but you can change the name and you can change the actual captain name, Shane. This is where I get the name Zelnick from, just so you know. Yeah, it would be, Jonathan. They would probably have breeding programs. I mean, death by snoo snoo to the male, but they would have breeding programs. They probably would have the ability to preference male over female. Hey, Matt, what's up? I mean, it's only a matriarchy because they don't have another choice. The population is likely around 80 to 90% female. How do you not have a matriarchy at that point? It's impossible. So that's the great social struggle of the Cyrene. I would love to meet a male one. They're evidently supposed to be very, very good at the Shane, it's because their population was nearly exterminated by the Mycon. That's why the males are rare. Their planet was destroyed effectively, and most of their males were planetside when it happened. So their population went from being roughly 50-50 to being 80-20. Yeah, it's the normal state of affairs, and yeah, it's their story is a very tragic one, but it's also at the same time it's very pulp sci-fi. It's very, very pulp sci-fi, and I love it. The fact that they are capable of interbreeding with humans is also interesting. Well, remember, Shane, death by snoo snoo. It's a I'm wondering in the next game if they're actually running into problems with too many Cyrene mating with humans. Because humans don't have the population problem. But it could potentially drive out the Cyrene or force the species to merge. And that's a great story arc. That'd be a great thing to explore. Is that what they should do, or should they again, Nova, remember that they're not human. So bear that in mind. And that's the I guess I have to kill these guys. I guess I have to go to Homeworld. Love the Erilu. Yeah, it'd be a great moral question. It is the kind of thing that Star Control is willing to talk about in its story. So yeah, I mean, we know that the commander has at least. Sorry, Matt, and happy birthday. I'll be here. Matt, trust me, it actually is involved with the plot of the story. It is important to, things that may come up in. It matters in the sense of, what's going to happen in Children of Infinity. What is going to happen with the Cyrene? We know that the captain married Polana and has at least a child because he has grandkids at the end of this game. In the foreshadowing of this game. So what do you know? The situation of the Sirene's a fascinating one. I'm really curious to see what happens. Ooh. Yeah, that's right. Jerk. Very loose. Yeah. That's basically, yes, they are controlling this ship with yoga moves. I love these guys. Okay. RPI? Sounds right. It's on Scorpio. Yep, wrong world. Boop, boop. Beta, Alpha, Zeta, Beta Brahe, Epsilon, Scorpio. But yeah, the plot and the story around the Sirene is one of my favorites. It's actually it's obviously intrinsic to the story because it involves the love interest for Captain Zelnick. And no, not me, the actual Captain Zelnick. I get my name, again, from this character. But Sirene one is among the best written in the game. And I do enjoy it a great deal. Ah, you're too close. Too close. Thank you. I have, in fact, played through this game. Shane, I played this game when I was like 8 years old. Oh yeah, this is right. And yeah, it's a huge map. And there's a lot of stuff to find. One day I would love, if I ever have enough freaking time, to actually play this game as an exploration, as if I didn't know anything. But it would take forever.
We are the Mycon.
There we go.
Your suggestion is appropriate. Acceptable new worlds are a priority for the rapid and complete spread of Juffo. We wish to know more for our suitability assessment. Tell us of this world.
So, what I love about the Mycon is that if you interact with them in any normal way, it's always nonsense. But there are a couple of situations where you can speak to them, and they choose to be very clear and concise with how they talk. And I really enjoy that, because it not only shows that the Mycon are fully willing to not communicate clearly, they're fully capable of communicating clearly, they just choose not to. That's a great question, Shane. We're going to find that out. These are the Mycon. These are fungus.
This is good. This is good. This is good. If your words are true, we will gladly spread Juffo to a new world. We will assemble the birthing fleet and send them to this planet. We will send many ships to protect the children as they grow. You have been of service to us. Your insight into the ineffable Juffo is encouraging. Perhaps, if we were to plant spore sacs in your brain orbit and let its tendrils spread through your flesh, then you would truly understand Juffo. Become part of Juffo. You would be happier and more fulfilled. Consider our offer.
Yep, that is absolutely true, Jonathan. Matt, he says, this is why I like XCOM. Simple concepts, alien create us and begin to terraform Earth to replace Mars. Then with terraforming is completely try and enslave us and take over. Okay. I mean, I like XCOM because XCOM's, the direction of XCOM is not complex. It doesn't need to be. You are allowed to be... We are allowed to simply go, we are fighting. I would not actually, I would say that the Mycon are not Nurgle. They would not be of Nurgle at all, because they are actually the opposite of Nurgle. They're all about creation. I mean, their version of creation. They terraform worlds by destroying them, but they're very good for them. Yeah, and there's no mercy in XCOM. That's another great thing about XCOM. It's a different story and it's a different game for a different group of people, and that's okay. I love XCOM. That's why I'm going to be running a very awkward XCOM game with Matthew and Shane, acting as if they are my leaders of different nation groups, trying to convince me that their way is the right way. Yeah, the Flood from Halo are unequivocally bad. There's nothing good about Flood, and that's okay. It's okay to not like the Flood and not support what the Flood do. Let's actually wait until they move. Yeah, it's elements like this that make games like XCOM and Star Control very good. There is no question about the bad actions of the enemy. You can sympathize. I'm sorry, you can empathize with the enemy, but you can't sympathize with them. The Urquan, Hora or Urquan, are doing a bad thing. But there's no question. Yeah, you can make the argument that within their framework they're doing the right thing. But for literally anything that isn't them, it's wrong. It's wrong in a horrible way. So, again, that's one of those reasons why I really like this game. There's no ambiguity about who the bad guy is. So I'm sitting here and waiting in hyperspace for now because I need the Mycon to move. See that they just moved down? Because they are going to, I believe it's this world here, to do terraforming, and they're going to get their asses absolutely kicked. I do not find a lot of sci-fi species kind of lose any individuality. Not entirely sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about like a non-individual species, like an alien hive mind? Come on, get far enough south. I need to go to Beta Brahe. Hold on. Alternative. Kepler. Is Beta here? Oh, Scorpio. I like to actually let them move. I know I'm weird. Let me have my little moment of roleplay. That too, Jonathan, but I actually like to watch the fleet get crushed like a bug. There we go. I always leave. So this story arc is one of the essential story arcs of the game. You have to do this story arc because this is how you get the Sun Device. And the Sun Device is very important later. We may actually get there because after this I'm going to go deal with the Slylandro, and then after that I'm running out of options. I prefer alien races that they are depicted as a antagonist, that they are unequivocally evil. I don't want to... If an alien race decides that it's time to kill humanity, they shouldn't have to necessarily justify it to a human. If that makes any sense. It may not. Alright, Force time. Go, Space Marine! That was an unfortunate end. Yeah. Uh-oh. God, I love these guys. Uh-oh. Right.
Go, 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 go,
crap.
go, 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 intruder.
I appreciate nuance too, but it's why I like Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers has the bugs, and the bugs, they don't care. You know, to them, humanity is in the way. You could try to make the Ender's Game argument where the aliens didn't view us as sentient, and my argument to that is non-sentient things don't make starships, which is actually a point that Heinlein makes. You know, yeah. Are the bugs sentient? Of course they are. Non-sentient things don't make starships and nukes. Oh! Anyway, no! You died before your time. Ah, Shattered Worlds. Always filled with good stuff. Yeah, Shane, those are the Ors Nemesis, I believe they're called. Man, this is just a pleasant world. Tommy the Kid. I am looking very closely at Helldivers. I actually want to get it. I just, unfortunately, due to work, and the fact that I have a little boy on the way, reduces my capacity to purchase new games. So I have to wait. Evidently, Helldivers is amazing, and it's really annoying people that want games to be all about modern politics, which is enough of a reason for me to support it. So I'll probably end up buying Helldivers, yes. Helldivers evidently is more of a Starship Troopers game than even Starship Troopers is. And I have the Starship Troopers game in development. It's really, really good. I'm really excited for it. It needs to be finished. Well, thank you, Tommy the Kid. I'm really excited about it. Sir, we are experiencing major tectonic shocks here on the surface. Wait a minute. They seem to have passed. Whew, that was awful. Captain, when we weren't bouncing off the walls, the ceiling, or being bashed against the lander walls, we were looking for whatever it was that the Mycon were hiding down here. We think we found it. I don't know what to call it. It kind of looks like a cross between a spider and an antenna, but Jivo, the engineer we brought along, says that the device has a capacity to radiate incredible amounts of energy in the form of visible light. We have decided not to experiment with the artifact, and we'll bring it aboard right after we explore the immediate vicinity. Uh-oh, Captain, looks like the shocks are starting up again! We can't take much more of this! Returning to the ship! I've never played the original Helldivers. I've heard it is good. I do not know if it is good. Talk to you later, Nova. You have a wonderful day. Okay. Uh-oh, the Kunker going. The Kunker on the move! Gotta go and stop the Kunk. So Tommy the Kid, what was the original Helldivers like? Because evidently Helldivers 2 just kind of came onto the scene and shocked everyone. Oh, quasi-space. I do wish we could go into the theoretical subspace that the ores came from. Get over here and stop the Kunk from the stones. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Hope you're enjoying the music. The music of this game is iconic. Man, that was close.
We have set out to return home. Home to our loving but misguided brothers and sisters. Please, do not try to stop us this time. We are firm in our resolve.
Didn't you know this is the time, year of the swollen moon? Bad time for travel.
Yes. We are so glad you warned us. No time to lose. We'll see you back in our home star system. Bye!
I love the Pekunks so much. Ah, God, they're such a great idea. Okay, what do I need to do? Could... Shane, if you've ever been to a crystal healing doctor, if you ever do a crystal healing doctor, which, as one does, of course, imagine if they were actually onto something. Imagine if all of that Mystic Woods was real. That's the Pekunk. And I love them for it, because they sound insane, but they're 100% correct on every one of their predictions. I absolutely, positively love them. Oh, this is the wrong place. I've already been here. Oh, right, it's Gamma Luton. It's Beta Luton. Is it Beta Luton or Gamma? Alpha Serenity. Oh, you gotta be kidding. It is Alpha Serenity. Okay. Actually, let's get another freaking. I really hate fighting these things. I really need to get back to base. Oh yeah, I mean, everything can be found in the game, if you explore enough, because you can get the information from the Melnorme with the information that you are trying to gather. Hold on one moment, I will be right back, everyone. Okay. The Vindicator is a beast. Unfortunately, you have to build it to become a beast. It starts off as a wimp. Yeah, if you want to play blind, the wiki has a non-spoiler hints. They're also very good. You should actually get a scan of the original map because it does also contain hints.
Greetings from Vox, the last word in life form destruction.
I love these guys.
To gain an intimate knowledge of our engines of war, simply place both hands over your eyes and count to 3.
Yeah. Okay, so the Vux. I love the Vux. They are probably my favorite antagonist in the game because they are not just a unapologetic antagonist, they revel in their antagonism. I absolutely adore it.
You are even uglier than I had thought possible. Can't you see you are making me sick? Please, foul creature, turn your head, or better yet, put a sack over it. Never mind. I have adjusted my display so it is dim enough to be tolerable. In answer to your question, our response is simple. We must attack you because our masters, the Urquan, wish it so. Now, if you don't mind, stop nodding your head like that. We Vox do not share this range of motion, and it appears as though your neck is broken and you are a jabbering corpse. Ugh! Do we need another reason? I understand. You refer to the first human encounter, the insult. What more can be said? On that day, your speech
Yes,
proved
these are the tentacles I was talking about. And it only gets worse.
Pride ourselves on our open-mindedness, our ability to see beyond even the most bizarre and disgusting face like yours. But that insult was so low, so totally reprehensible, that we will never forget it. Yes, to be honest, that event pretty much fixed our attitude setting at abhor.
Or is
I
Snuffleupagus
suspect
a
we will
mutated
despise you
Vox?
forever. Probably not. You see, although we Vox are highly reasonable beings who would never judge our race solely on its appearance.
Also, the voice
magnitude of
actor
your
just
Captain
ripped
Rand's insult was
the
such
bigotry
that
of the
we will
Vox so
probably
well.
Never forgive your species. Nope, I didn't think that would be sufficient. It lacked conviction. Sorry, but
I love the Vox. They're so great. Okay, I can actually use my human ship because these are actually very good against the Vox. It's the only freaking enemy that's slower than I am. The name of the game of the human cruiser is to maintain distance. Oh, God, planet! Hi. Why do I always hit the planet? Oh, wrong way. Wrong way! So slow. Another great thing about this game, human cruisers absolutely suck. And, yep, I like how if you want to, they can still be used and they're still good against certain enemies. But humanity is not the most advanced race in the set, and I enjoy that a great deal. Man, these things can't hit the broadside of a freaking car. There we go. Now, the nukes do a good amount of damage. If they hit. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Get the hell out of there. Who am I going to screw him up with? Those are, in fact, nukes, yes. Squirt.
Go, 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 go. Intruder. Intruder. Intruder.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've encountered some of the Vox, we get to encounter probably the most iconic villain of the game. Alright, here we go. Alpha Serenkov.
human visitors. What a treat. I am Admiral Zex. Please, do not be frightened. Unlike
DUX.
the rest of my species, I enjoy
Hey, Dr. Surgeon Guy, how you doing?
You may know me by my reputation, my leadership of Vux
Yes, it's
forces
true.
during the War
Admiral
of the
Vux,
Alliance.
the true
I
hero.
assure you that this behavior, a sad necessity of those times, belies a much kinder, gentler being.
Serenkov is a
Please,
constellation,
be
Shane.
welcome. We can get to know one another, expand our interspecies relationship. But wait, how silly of me. You aren't here for polite repartee. You have come for my show-fixing maidens. Ah, such a good question. But you always were a bright species. I will explain. After the Great War...
Hey, I'm happy to do it, Tommy. I love this game.
The Vux High Council,
Oh,
in
Shane.
recognition for my services, granted me this planet.
Shane, it's going
So that
exactly
I
where you
can
think it's
pursue my
going.
hobby Without disturbing the general Vux
Uh,
process. I am a
Dr. Surgeon Guy, I am
collector.
doing pretty
I'm
damn
the
well.
finest
Having a
menagerie
good
of
day, nice quiet day.
beautiful creatures in all space. Animals? Oh no, Captain, not mere animals. My menagerie contains only the most beautiful creatures in the galaxy. Each of my children, as I like to call them, has a wonderful set of traits which make them unique and special, especially to me. I have a complete variety of beasts from as far away as Procyon and Vega. No, this is not just some zoo. I have worked diligently for many years to craft my menagerie, to gradually improve it. Perhaps you can't tell, but I am rather proud of it. Alas, there's one creature, one gorgeous animal which I do not yet possess. I would give almost anything for that creature, Captain. Because I like humans, Captain, I respect and admire your species. I do not share the bigoted views of most of my people. No, not all, Vux, Captain. Most, but not all. It is true, when the majority of my people view one of your species, they are forced to regurgitate. But there are those among us who have grown beyond such childishness, to take a more liberal view. We, the few sophisticates, are not subject to the whims and fads of current fashion. Our likes and dislikes are strictly based on personal preference. We see the beauty in you humans, the value in a long-term relationship. You are different, yes, but personally, I like difference. In fact, I adore it. Your physique is so wonderfully varied. Your multitudinous rigid appendages, your tiny double eyes, your varied skin coloration, and the delightful patchwork of hair covering only parts of your bodies, leaving other parts bare and smooth. I value your species, Captain. I see you as just people.
When I heard that come out, I never thought I would view myself so poorly when described in this way. Again, it's a fantastic testament to the writing of this game. That they can make somebody sound so accepting and so wrong at the same time. Now, this is actually one of the areas where Star Control 3 did an ugly on my boys the Vux, because they ruined the lore of the Vux in Star Control 3.
You have talked with my Vux countrymen, haven't you? They are close-minded fools, bigoted in all ways. Call me what you wish, Captain. I choose to view myself as, well, simply open-minded, free to experience the full range of life's possibilities. The Vux rulers could not refuse my military genius, couldn't ignore the many victories I gave them, but they would not tolerate my behavior, accept my desires as natural. So they sent me out here, a hero's exile, where I won't poison the minds of youth with my bizarre ideas and perverted lifestyle. Bigoted fools. You see, Captain, we are not all that different, you and I. We are different from the majority of Vux, and so we, in Vux eyes, are both monsters.
Another thing I like is how they show the command deck of the Buck. I really like this aesthetic.
What an interesting proposal. I never would have thought of such a wonderful idea myself. You are a genius, Captain. In answer to your question, yes, I accept your offer. Deliver the creature to me, and I shall give you the show-fixing maidens. I will even provide you with a clue to finding the creature's native planet. My source for this information is an ancient wildlife handbook written millennia ago by some unknown alien author. The pertinent passage goes as follows. Demise. It basks in yellow light within the constellation Lynch-Na-Plo. We have translated Lynch-Na-Plo to mean approximately the long, thin creature who has swallowed the huge beast. I am afraid this is all that I know. I hope it is sufficient. Goodbye, beautiful human. I hope we can meet someday as friends. Perhaps even more?
I love the Bucks, and I love Admiral Zex. What a phenomenal creation. And I'm hoping they're in the next game, and I hope they are just as much of an asshole in this game as in the next game as they are in this game. It implies a lot of things, Shane, but then again, it's good writing. They are meant to be... Zex is meant to be the kind of thing that makes you go, I don't want to be here anymore. Alright, let's stop off at Earth. Keep laughing, Nova. Keep laughing. Yes, Zex is definitely... Actually, probably wouldn't be. That's the weird thing. Yeah, Shane. The original creators are finally making a proper sequel to Star Control 2. It's called Children of Infinity. Pistol Shrimp is the company they've made, and we are freaking stoked. Again, I have my worries because it is, of course, the modern day, and a lot of the things that are in this game would be frowned upon in the modern day. Like a sexy siren or a lot of things. But I really genuinely hope they keep the pulp sci-fi feel and not submit to the modern day.
The analysis reads as follows. Subject, sun device. Data, the unit contains a power generator whose output magnitude is simply mind-croggling. When activated, the device radiates energy equivalent to less than 1/100th of 1% of our sun. However, when placed close to a planet, perhaps in orbit, its output would rival Sol's. Summary, another precursor tool, the energy output of which can replace or augment a sun's radiance. That's the end of our scientist's report.
I disagree. This game is not outdated. This game is good. This game actually has more good in it than any modern game currently. I don't view this game as outdated at all. And anybody trying to make the argument that it is, generally probably trying to ruin it. And anyone who complains about it, if they do make the new game like this one, is not there to enjoy the game. They're there to destroy it. Okay. I need another Shiva furnace. Okay. Rude. In fact, I would actually say this game is rather tame by a lot of modern comparisons. We had our alien sex scene and it faded to black. What have we seen in a lot of other modern games? A lot more explicit behavior. So yeah, no, I'm not agreeing that this game is is quote unquote out of date. I don't think I can agree with that at all. All right, it's by Lendro. Huh. I think we can finally get that out over and done. But ultimately, what matters the most is that the writing is consistent and the universe is consistent. That's really what matters. They don't have to have everything in the second game and the third game, so long as they do not. Yep, so long as they don't waste their time trying to talk about modern politics in a game about over 125 years in the future. If that makes any sense. Is that the one, Corby? Oh no, it's not. I think it's up in by Vega. I think it's Beta Vega. Beta Corby, that's right. Up by Vega. But I'm always willing to listen to other arguments about what people expect out of the game. All I want is the good writing that comes forward that manifests itself so well in this game. I think that the writers that they currently have, I know that I think Paul retired, Fred is still working on it. So long as the writing is of the same caliber and the game is consistent, I think Children of Infinity is going to be one of the greatest games I've ever played. I don't really care necessarily about the gameplay that much. This gameplay is very full, and they're going with very similar gameplay. So, I'm not that concerned. But I want the same universe, and I want it unchanged.
Hello, visitor. We are the Slylandro. I am Content to Hover, a Slylandro speaker. Your presence here fills us with excitement. We have gotten so few visitors over these many drawn. We hope you can stay to talk with us for a time.
Nova, we'll see what we get. Remember that this game was made. God, when was Star Control 2 made? How long ago in the deep distant past? 1992. So we'll see what we get. Obviously, they have a lot better tools today than they did then, but we'll see. I would love to have the recitation of the reciting of the story done by a punk. What would be a good way to put it? A interpretive dance scene by the punk. Yeah, this is a '92 game. Oh my god. Yeah, I was 8 years old when this game came out.
Oh, this is terribly exciting. We will be happy to tell you about ourselves if you would please do the same. You see, we Slylandro have been extremely interested in learning about the galaxy, but our physique makes us incapable of leaving our gas giant home. Therefore, we are totally reliant on our infrequent visitors to keep us informed about events outside this planetary system. And visitors usually only show up every few drawn. We hope that our newly deployed exploration probe fleet will not only gather information for us, but inform other races of our presence here as well. You know, it's funny. We hadn't heard from the outside galaxy in a whole Janasa, and then the Melno may come by and sell us a probe, and just a few hundred rotations later, you show up. Oh, the probe?
We were -12.
Right. Well, like we said, just a short time ago, a race called the Melno may stopped by. They said they had acquired some information revealing our existence, and they wanted to study us if we didn't mind. In fact, the Melno said they would pay us for the right to do so. I guess they are biology nuts or something. Anyway, in exchange for our information, they gave us a probe vessel. Years? Oh, you mean drawing? Well, let's see. There was the Melnomane just a few rotations back. Then we go all the way back over 3 drawn ago to the Urquan and the other milieu guys. The Yuli and the Draw, I think.
Hey, Dr. Surgeon Guy, if you need a writer, I will happily help you. If it is bad.
Let me remember. That was a long, long time ago. I was only a nymph then. Oh yes, that's it. The Sentient Milieu was a cooperative association of sentient alien species. The Yuli, the Draw, the Taelo, the Melnon, the Foz, and the Urquan, who lived across a wide section of the galaxy. They talked with us fairly frequently for almost half a drawn. Then suddenly, the visit stopped, and we haven't heard from them since. Yes, there was another race, a highly sophisticated species of shaggy giants who made repeated trips to our world over a period of several drawn. They even installed a broadcasting satellite in orbit around our world, which let us talk with them whenever we wanted. They were called
I'd be happy to, Dr. Surgeon Guy.
Sorry, I can't remember
I would
their
write
names.
for any of the
It was
races.
a long, long time ago. I wish I knew more of the information you seek, Traveler. But we last saw the Shaggy Ones just over 39 drawn ago, and very little from that era has remained intact in our history chance. Hold on a minute. Let me consult with Associates Joyce Lifting and Solid Plummet. Joyce Lifting, who has a better memory.
Sadly, as you'll see, you're not. Well, I could. I would probably write it as the
They were
most
always hurrying
awful,
from place to place, seeking knowledge as those
bigoted
who were in
assholes in
desperate
the world
search
because
for
I wanted
some
them to
important
retain
secret,
their evil
some
nature.
answer to a question that they never shared with us. Solon Plummet remembers that the last time the Shaggy Ones visited our world, they came aboard a great circular starship, one even larger than your own. They had discovered their answer and were leaving to go somewhere, and they didn't tell us exactly where somewhere was. No, I have told you. One moment. Joyce Lifting transmits. Joyce Lifting has remembered something else, though it does not relate to the Shaggy One's question, answer, or departure destination. What my associate communicates is the description of a set of 10 worlds, unlike all others. The Shaggy Ones either discovered these planets, or, this is garbled, assembled them? We were told the planets were, again this is confusing, organized in some pattern which in some way alluded to the Shaggy One's ultimate fate. One of the worlds was described as orbiting one of a pair of blue stars not far from here.
I would also
Another
really like to
these
see
worlds
more of the
circled a large
Slylandro
white
in
sun.
the
That is all
next
I can
game.
remember.
Hopefully we will.
We are the Slylandro, a race of kind, curious, gas-bag people.
Hey Nova, you mentioned you wanted to talk about aliens evolving on a gas giant.
Certainly, provided you share with us similar information. What would you like to know? Our planet, which we call Source, has no solid surface as yours likely does. Our world is the 500-kilometer band of atmosphere in which we can survive. Below this are the depths, a dark, hostile region, which grows increasingly darker and more hostile the farther one goes. A typical feat of courage for Slylandro juveniles is to sink far enough into the depths so that the juvenile's gas bag is almost ruptured by the pressure. The tissue scars left by the trip last many rotations and are thought to attract comely mates. Above our world is Void. When we travel up too far into Void, we grow giddy and behave inappropriately. We have an egalitarian society here. All are equal. Of course, that doesn't stop some people from being stupid fools or jerks. But on a world as huge as Source, where there are no barriers to restrict your travel, if someone is bothering you, you simply go somewhere else. As you might have guessed, we have no physical technology. In our long history, several of our people have tried to work with objects constructing weapons and other tools from the carcasses of dead beasts, But eventually, whatever it was they were building got too heavy and dragged them down to the depths. Since we possess no technology, we have no permanent way to record the passing of events. Instead, we use the history chants, long songs whose rhythms and patterns help prevent the introduction of error into the record. When the Shaggy Ones first arrived over 41 Drons ago, we had no words for aliens or ships, for stars or planets. Our skies are an opaque swirl of colors. We knew nothing of the universe outside Source. The Shaggy Ones taught us most of the new words, and after they departed, we remembered them for the many long drawn, until ships from the sentient milieu arrived. Our world, which we call Source, has been home to our species for many thousands of drawn. We evolved from simpler, unimodular beings who thrive in atmospheric convection cells. At first, we were little more than mindless consumers who glided at the edge of windmills, straining the air for small animalcules. But even then, we were social creatures who invented language so that we could better cooperate when herding food into dense concentrations. There are many hundreds of species here in Source, producers, consumers, hunters, and parasites, but so far, we are the only species here to achieve intelligence. Mike? Oh my! I forgot! You creatures see in the visual range, and can see our... well, we can't see them. What I mean to say is, they are... Well, we use them when the male and the female... Well, look, I'd rather if you didn't ask about them, okay?
See you, Nova.
Especially not in front of Soul and Plummet. She's shy. Great. Now you've done it. Just look at Soul and Plummet. You've embarrassed her so badly that she can't even regulate her ballast. That's okay. Actually, your explicit questions have put Soul and Plummet in an unusual and intriguing mood. I will explore this change more fully when this conversation is over.
Nothing quite like being an alien wingman.
The Drawn is our primary unit of time. It lasts for an interval equivalent to 4 million rotations of our planet. A Drawn is subdivided into 2,000 Dranasa. Now please. Yes, that seems to be the pattern. Just about everyone who comes by here says they developed on a world a lot like that. As far as we know, we're the only sentient species who's ever evolved in the atmosphere of a gas giant. Of course, from what we know, most travelers like yourselves don't have much interest in gas giants, so maybe there are others like us, Philandro, out there somewhere. That must be great, to leave your planet and roam the stars. You don't know how monotonous living on a gas giant for 3 or 4 Drawn can be. Clouds, clouds, clouds. Wind, lightning, clouds, clouds, clouds. That's it. We know a lot about clouds. If you've got any cloud questions, ask us. We have over 800 different symbolic references just to describe them. Most of the time, when we aren't eating, we hover around and talk about what the clouds look like. Of course, the only things we know about are clouds, food, and other Slylandro. So generally, that's what we think the clouds look like. The Urquhart? The long brownish guys from the milieu with all the eyes and arms? They used to come visit us regularly about 3 Drons ago. They told us about all the interesting things they found from their scouting missions. They were really nice. Why do you fight with them? But the Urquhart were such good guys. They had lots of interesting things to tell us about, and they never got impatient with our questions. Well, I guess a lot can happen.
Yeah, but they're they're not very dense.
Like turning
That's the
green
thing.
and evil. Oh, then you should go check out a planet orbiting a blue star not too far from here. I think there is another blue star right next to it. We can't describe exactly where it is, but the people who told us about it, the Urquhart I think, said that it was one of the rarest worlds in space, and that as far as they knew, There were only 10 of these planets in this part of the galaxy. Okay. Sure, if you are interested. In exchange for information about the life on Source, the Melnorme offered to give us a remote exploration probe. It would roam the galaxy, gathering information and contacting alien races, and when it had filled its data storage units, it would return here and reveal to us everything it had learned. Our probes do not attack. They have only defensive capabilities. Offensive behavior is not part of the instructions we programmed into the probe. To do so would be reprehensible. Sure. It was a difficult task for us, since we'd never done anything like that before. But for the most part, we just adjusted its standard probe scan. If no current target, then select new target from the current targets list using specified priorities.
Sorry, but this is just a very monotonous part of the game. I like to...
Then... Oh, and here are the tables. Target. Space vessel. 5. Transmission source. 4. Astronomical anomaly. 3. Planet-bearing life signature. 2. Raw replication materials. 1. Probe behaviors with assigned priorities. Communicate. 5. Record data. 4. Analyze data. 3. Seek replication materials. 999. Move to current target. 1. That's it. That behavior was hard. We couldn't. Essentially, the probe will only fire its weapons if it has been attacked and...
Yeah, basically.
No. The probe is armed with a battery of missiles. It doesn't use its electrical discharge device in combat. That's impossible! The electrical discharge device is used only for breaking down raw replication materials into their component compounds.
Yes, Dr. Surgeon Guy, I did. They actually found with some of their telescopes the core of a gas giant that had its gas shell stripped off, and it's basically one giant planet-sized diamond.
Okay. It was to seek out Cap. Well, what happens if it manufactures? So even though we only buy. Sure. I'd be glad to seek out. We can build it. Well, analyze data. Let me ask him what he. Oh, my. That was a bit extreme, wasn't it? Joyce Licking told me he changed it to 999, the highest setting on the dial. I'm pretty sure the probe. No, the probe seeks raw material. The answer is simple. For its replica. I don't see what your guy said. Once the probes, then, when the communications were terminated, a new behavior would be selected. And since the replication setting was set to maximum, the probe wouldn't get time to pick a new target. It would use replication. It would process the ship into component condition. No! What have we done? Traveler, you must tell us what we can do! How can we stop the probes from destroying all life in the galaxy?
Sue the Melnorme.
The Melnorme made us agree to a formal waiver of damages in case something like this happened. No, that would never work. The probes will replicate too fast. As soon as you destroyed one...
Yeah, they're basically von Neumann probes.
No, not catalog item 2418. Remote self... The model with the recall transmitter was catalog item 2419. And the Melnorme said... Why yes, there is! You're a genius, Traveler! Why didn't we remember that? Oh, there's a problem though. How? Well, while we... That way, if you run into a probe, you can just... Goodbye.
Okay, now I can deal with Melnorme probes without shooting them. Alright, and now I can eventually go and get... Lysinus. That's right. Okay, just so you all know, I have maybe about 20 minutes before I have to leave. So we got a good amount of work in, and we'll be able to continue this at another date. But we have 20 more minutes, so I'm sure this happens to the Melnorme all the time, and that's probably why they have legal documentation to prevent them from being sued. All right, best devices, portal. Yeah, I'm doing effectively a speed run. I'm letting the fun conversations run because they're fun conversations, but I'm mostly speed running. I know what to do and when to do it and how to do it. So, one day I may do a long run. Hey, check it out. It's Highlander Pro.
We bring engaging self-destruction circuitry.
Now, here's an important thing if you do play this game. Don't do the self-destruction circuitry immediately if you're low on resources, because the probes give you a ton of them. So if you want to harvest them for resources, don't transmit. All right. Ah, yes, there's Zex's beauty right there. Funny, it's usually super aggressive. Oh, here it comes. Back, foul demon! Back, my ex! Oh, it looks just like my ex. Report from surface. We have finally trapped the hideous beast that has been so hard to capture these past few days. I swear, we emptied our stun batteries into the thing over a dozen times before it even slowed down. A few more shots into its barbed head and it went down. But we had only a few seconds to get it into the magnetic restraints before it started thrashing around again. Even as I make this report, that damn monster is freaking like a steam engine and trying to tear its way free. Hope we know what we're doing bringing that thing aboard. If it gets free inside the ship, Captain, well, I don't know what to think about. I don't want to think about returning the ship. Hey, I know how awful my ex is. Okay, we should manifest devices. Do I have the? Oh, I do not have it. I do not want to test that. By the way, if you activate the Buck's Beast as a device, it will end the game because it will kill everyone on board. So don't ever do that. Another Slylander probe. Okay. Damn, those things are fast.
Do not engage.
Free resources. Woo! I'll take it. Thank you. Okay. I need to hit the Spathy. Because there actually are a pretty good number of ridiculous game overs in this game. Again, an element that I hope they bring over into the next game. Just remember to save. Space lawyers for Urquan Masters 2. That would be a pretty cool concept. Not gonna lie. That is actually an element that really hasn't been explored in this. Amusingly enough, I love playing games where lawyers are never meant to be. Like, play a D&D game where your character's normal job is a lawyer and is an adventurer part-time. You can do it in Shadowrun as well. Alright, Dr. Surgeon Guy, you have a good one. And there's the slave shield over Spathawa. All right. Report from surface. Captain. Lieutenant Robinson, sir. We have located an alien artifact down here. Perhaps more importantly, we have found something which I think may explain what happened to the Spathy. And I don't think you're going to like it. We're investigating a large blue machine when Officer Talbot discovered a message glued to the side of the device. Sir, it's a note from the Spathi High Council. I'll read it to you. Dear Hunams, how are you? We are fine. However, can we thank you for letting us study your planet Earth's blade shield? Admittedly, it took us some time to replicate the technology ourselves, but we are simply delighted with the result. Yes, sirree, we sure love the idea of putting an impenetrable shield around our planet. Now, all those evil monsters that were just about to attack us won't be able to eat us. Thanks! I guess this means we won't be able to send you any more starship captains. Sorry. Well, they want to turn on the shield about now, so we've got to get going. I'm sure we'll never talk to you again. So goodbye and thanks again. Your friend, the Spathi Ruling Council. P.S. This machine is a super powerful hyperwave caster that the Oomga used to trick us into believing that the Grand Master Planet Eaters were coming to destroy Spathiwan. We thought maybe you'd like to have it. Yeah, the Spathi in the span of 3 in-game months managed to replicate Urquan Blade Shield technology. They are the most dangerous race in the galaxy. Make no mistake. They are horrifying and terrible, and I'm glad they're under a shield. Though I am curious as to what's going to happen in Star Control in Children of Infinity with them. Okay, devices. Okay. We need to go to Earth. Then I have to go to... I think what I'm going to do is hit Earth, then I think I will go and get the Shofixi Maiden from Zek. And that I will wrap things up there. That's about 15 minutes of play. Then I got to go and actually do real things with my life. It's sad, but that's life. I just love the description of
Captain?
Not a lot, but a little bit.
The more mineral. The analysis reads as follows. Subject Hyperwave Broadcaster, Umga Design. Data. This unit is capable of generating extremely intense hyperwave transmissions, though it is otherwise similar to our own casters. Summary. This thing would be great for practical jokes. You could scream boo from an orc cloud to scare the pants or whatever off of everyone in the system. If you used it in hyperspace, there's no telling who might hear you and come running. The next entry in the analysis is subject, hostile alien creature. Data?
This is newly promoted junior scientist Hawkins reporting. Dr. Chu, he's the leader of the section. He's still in sick bay. He's been there ever since that thing took a swipe at him and he got too close to the cage. I guess it's got like triple jointed arms or something with spikes and razor plates all over. The data? Oh, yeah, right. The subject is a xenoterratomorph, a big honking one, I might add. It eats everything: plants, animal tissue, wood, ceramics, plastic, asbestos fibers, several types of metal chairs, a desk, and about half of everything a security officer wears. What it doesn't eat, it chews. And what it doesn't chew, well, it breaks up into tiny little pieces. What? Summary? Oh, yeah, summary. The sooner you get that thing off the starbase, the less likely it is that thing will get loose and kill us all. I guess that's it.
The next entry in the analysis
I love that.
is subject, Slylandro Probe Destruct Code Sequence. Data. This is a complex sequence of program instructions using an encryption sequence similar in some ways to the Rolling Fung algorithm. Summary. When a Slylandro probe approaches, open a hailing frequency, wait for a response, and then transmit the code. That's the end of our... We shall...
I love the... Yep. Get it up or it kills us all! Oh, gee, what a bunch of cowards. Tank up. Crew up. And service. Okay, let's get back to... It's the ring con. And that'll be the last thing we do for the day. Oh yeah, look, the Mycon. Tiny. Maybe if there's enough time after getting the ship fixed, we can head back to the Cyrene, back to Beetlejuice and get the Cyrene aboard. That depends, Nova. A speed run can take a couple of hours. Taking your time with it, it can be much longer. It's a huge game. For a game this old, it's gigantic. Even by modern standards, this game is huge. Think of it this way: the last couple of streams all lasted about 2 hours, and we're about a little over an hour and a half into this one, and we still have lots of stuff we still need to do. We have to get the Thredash done, Ootwig, Sigpox, and the Ultron done. The Rouge have to be completed. There's a lot more stuff to do. There's so much more. Oh, we have to get the Umga done too. We have to go. The Umga is going to be great. I love the Umga story arc, and I just love the Umga in general. They are, I think, one of my favorite evil races ever. Okay. Nope. There we go.
Why am I so blessed? My favorite friends, the humans, are back. Captain, it is good to see you again. You humans are so interesting, so beautiful. You know, I have many pictures of your species. I keep them on my walls to inspire me.
Whew. Okay.
A most excellent piece of news. My chiton rasps and moistens with excitement. I have been looking forward to this for so long. My subordinates stand ready to receive the beast from your ship, Captain. Effect its transfer, and then we shall give you the maidens you desire. Oh yes, no problem. Even now my subordinates are bringing them up from the surface. So let's not waste time. Send that...
All right.
My new child is on board. Such a big one, isn't he? And so frisky. I am delighted beyond words that you have given me the beast, Captain. But I am afraid that there has been a slight change in our plans. Regrettable, but necessary. Oh, my beautiful, luscious human. I had thought that the hideous, violent monster you have given me would complete my collection of ugliness, my menagerie of monsters. I was wrong. You, my human love, are the most vile, the most fierce, and wretched. My collection could never be complete without you. I need you, Captain. But alas, I fear you will not give your consent willingly. Am I right? Therefore, Sub-Commander Dax, terminate communications, warm up my modified intruder, engage the precursor warp nullifier. Prepare for battle! Sub-Commander, why has my main console become inoperative? The transmit mode is locked! What do you mean the central system computer is damaged? How? The beast escaped? No, Sub-Commander, this is impossible. It couldn't escape from our strongest containment system. It's what? Decks 5 and 6? 11 crewmen? Sound the alarms, you fool. Where is it now? Engineering report. Engineering! Sub-Commander, seal bulkhead. Sub-Commander, are you listening to me? What are you staring at? Pay attention, Sub-Commander. Give me a report on its position. What are you staring at? Behind me? What?
I love that. Rip. So much biological data. Oh yeah, he very dead. Report from surface. At the Vux Commander's menagerie, we have found what appears to be a functioning cryotank containing a dozen bipedal creatures. We can't be sure, but through the tank's fog viewports, we think we can see young Sopixi females inside the freezer unit. We have transferred the cryotanks to the lander and are returning to the ship. Zex is very dead. Zex is not coming back. If he does come back, it'll be hilarious. I approve. But no, Zex is gone. Because in the end, Zex was no different than the rest of his people. That was very wrecked. But in the end, yeah, Zex was just no different than any of his people. He viewed humanity as just as filthy and disgusting as the rest of his people did. He just had a desire to collect the most horrible things in the galaxy. And it was that collection that made his own people hate him. And he utilized what he thought was friendly speech to get close. He is no better and no worse than any other Vux. And again, that's good writing. Alright, let's hit off on Beetlejuice, and then from there, we will end this stream. And we'll be good. Again, Beetlejuice should honestly be a red giant star, because actually it's thought that it's possible that Beetlejuice has already gone Nova. Yep, red supergiant star. 10th brightest star in the night sky. It should not be a blue dwarf. Beetlejuice! Hello, Elliot. How you doing? Good movie, decent TV show.
Yes, Captain. The Mycon's fleet is in shambles. Justice is ours. We have revenged ourselves against the heinous Mycons. They fell for our trap so completely. When they approached Organon 1, we were hiding behind its moon. As they approached, their ships broke combat formation in preparation for their hideous implanting ceremony. We waited until they were fully dispersed around the planet. Then we attacked. The standard Mycon tactic would have been to speed out of orbit using a gravity whip maneuver, but the pod ships refused to abandon their slow-moving deep children's spore pods. They remained in the gravity well, and we sliced them to ribbons. They must have lost a dozen ships to their own stupidity, running into their own plasmoids. The rest? Well, we took care of most of them, in our own special way. And Captain, now that we have taken our revenge on the Mycon, we give you our starship officers and penetrator designs so that you can add our ships to your fleet. I expect I'm going to be pretty busy for the next few months, overseeing repairs to our fleet of penetrator starships and preparing some kind of defensive system for this starbase. If and when the Urquan return here, we want to have a little surprise ready for them. Captain, the next step is to pull down the slave shield from our planet. In my opinion, The only people who could do that are the Changesi. And as far as I know, they are under a shield of their own. Actually, I'm just dodging the real issue, Captain. Your agenda really has only one item. Destroy the Urquan hierarchy. How to do that? I'm not sure. But I know you can't take them head on, even with that amazing ship of yours. You will have to find their weak spot, and then strike it with everything you've got. Not a great deal, Captain. You seem to be the biggest source of excitement around here. I've had requests from just about every officer under my command to be transferred to your Earth starbase to serve under you. If I wasn't running this starbase, I'd be first in line.
Yep.
Goodbye.
All right, everybody, and with that, we are going to finish up this stream. We will continue again at a hopefully near later date, possibly tomorrow, possibly not. I'm not entirely sure. I know it's always very random when I'm able to come on and play, but we're actually now about, I would say close to 66% of the way through the game. Maybe one solid gameplay, maybe another 2.5, 3 hours, and it's the end of the game. So one way or another, thank you all so much for watching. I hopefully see you all again in the next video. And, hey, go work out, get your heart rate up, drink water, hug your parents, all that.